We're now joined by Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, wonderful to have you, ma'am, the Executive Chairperson of Biocon Limited. Ma'am, could you share your thoughts on the passing of Ratan Tata?
Vishnu, first and foremost, I'm in Boston, which is a city that Ratan Tata used to love frequenting. And that's where I used to meet him a lot. Because I used to also come to Boston for my, biotech meetings. And he was someone who invested in life technologies in a big way. And he and I used to often spend evenings brainstorming and discussing great investment opportunities. He was so passionate about investing in tech startups. And I feel so privileged and blessed that I had that quality time with him to discuss many of his investments and many of the things I was investing in. So I'm so deeply saddened to learn the news. I think Ratan Tata was a great man, a great mind. Of course, he was a great philanthropist, and he was just an amazing man, and I just feel so privileged to have known him.
Ma'am, what was his contribution to Indian industry, not just now when, things have done well, 7-8% growth, but in the past as well? It's consistency and tenacity, which, have been really important factors in determining how the Tatas have progressed. And it's something that he's obviously led.
Well, I mean, that's a question which is very easy to answer because, Ratan Tata believed in India, believed in making India a great country. He invested in technology. He invested in so many different things, the automobile industry, the steel industry. I mean, he used to invest in big global brands. I think he was very, very keen on building a great global brand from India and for India. He was a very proud Indian, I can tell you that. And I think he was a great nation builder. And he invested in almost every sector that he thought was important, including, building a cancer hospital in Calcutta, which he thought was so important because he really believed, and that's something I shared with him, about affordable access to people who need, life-saving treatments, which they couldn't afford.
If you look at what happened in Kolkata, and you mentioned Kolkata, one of the biggest challenges that he had was in Bengal. The nano project never took off in terms of manufacture in Bengal because of differences with land acquisition and Mamata Banerjee, in fact, tweeted condoling his death. And yet, as a human being, despite these huge differences, Ratan Tata and his group chose to be consistent in trying to reach out. I mean, in a sense, that's the man he was. He didn't have any grudges.
Yeah, he was a great man. He understood what the challenges that West Bengal had in terms of, the kind of antipathy certain local communities had for industry. But I think he never bore a grudge against, Mamata Banerjee or the government, because I think he was a very forgiving man. And he basically would always find another option, and that's what he did. He would, if West Bengal was not welcoming, he knew other states would be. I mean, he just built such a great company. Tata's under his leadership just went from strength to strength, and he just expanded the Tata empire in almost every new sector that you could think of.
And ma'am, one final question. Aviation was his big passion, and his last big acquisition was Air India, the Tata Group acquisition, but I'm sure he influenced that. He was unable earlier on to bring Air India to the fold, but belatedly, he got to see it as a part of the Tatas. That must have meant the world to him.
I'm glad he saw that before he passed, because I think that would have really warmed his heart that it came back to the Tatas.
I must ask you this, something which must have broken his heart, I guess, would be the differences with Cyrus Mistry, who at one stage was the heir apparent, someone he had seen grow into the system, who Ratan Tata believed was the future of the group. Then there was that lengthy legal battle. Cyrus Mistry was sadly killed in a car accident many years later, very sad. Do you think all of this would have had a profound impact on Ratan Tata personally?
I don't even want to comment on it because I really didn't have any insights into that particular part of his life. So my whole relationship with Ratan Tata was really on the technology front, the startup front. He used to love discussing life technology with me. He was so excited about the interface of IT and life sciences, and it used to always excite him when he used to find some very innovative science in Boston, and he would immediately share it with me. So I just feel that this is a time to celebrate his greatness, celebrate his life, and celebrate his contributions to making our country grow and assume the stature it has today. And a lot of it has to do with him.
He was a wonderful philanthropist. He believed in education and health. He was a key part of the Tata Trusts, obviously, and I suppose that is one of the most abiding aspects of his legacy, charity work.
Well, I think he very, very firmly believed that wealth creation is about also making impact on society. And his own words, he said, "I want to be remembered for making a difference." And he always felt that through philanthropy, you could make a difference in many, many ways. That was his greatness too.
All right, ma'am. Wonderful speaking to you, and thank you so much for sharing, your memories of the great man.